Hey, hey. So go ahead, say your name. I wanted to get you on record here before you go off to school. Where you going to anyway?
Fort Lauderdale, Miami
Uh,
Beach. You can see it.
That's it live behind you right now. It's 90 degrees there right now. Uh, but say your name real quick.
My name is Amari Harvey. I'm 19 years old. I'm one of Mr. Craig's students. Known him since I was like 5 years old.
Yeah, yeah, something like that or whatever. That's when your mom, Quali,
Yeah,
uh, came through here with you and stuff. I think I think you just kind of were exposed to the studio anyway,
yeah.
and I think you were around at that time. Joseph Magnum was over here recording, doing some. He was getting his mentors,
Yeah.
getting mentored, I should say, and so flash forward or whatever. You came back through here. I think your mom called me up. Now, first Joe called me up actually at first,
Mm.
and he said, "I'd like for you to work with him if you would." So, so I said, "Yeah," and then I wound up talking with your mom, and she was, encouraging me, asking me, what's it going to take for me to work with you, and we came in originally, and I had you sing for me, didn't I?
I
Something,
think so.
yeah, a couple of acapella things or whatever. And I think I made note to you about certain things. You want to elaborate on some of them?
So I remember like I went to go record a song here because I thought because I started out writing and I
Mm-hmm.
thought I was ready to make music and become a star or whatever. And so I was in here recording, and the feedback that I got was, I was a little pitchy, uh, you know, just missing some notes. Really, I knew how to write, but I didn't know how to sing at the time.
Yeah, and I remember I had to check first to make sure you wasn't tone deaf,
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
think I hit notes on the piano and said, "Can you sing this note?" And you was still off a little bit.
Mm,
Then I think like I did with a lot of people, I either tell you to close your eyes, and I may tell you to pitch being,
yeah,
and I had to kind of explain that to you and stuff.
yeah,
Uh, till you found a note. And so once I did it, and you closed your eyes, you started finding the notes, and you was hitting it. So that let me know right there, then,
yeah,
that you weren't tone deaf.
yeah.
Because
Nah,
otherwise,
nah.
I mean, it's just like, okay, I might tell you, hey, you need to find
Mm,
something else to do or whatever.
yeah,
So then my advice to you was I introduced you to my,
Mr. Williams.
yeah, Charles Williams, who I grew up with. He's 1 year older than me, class of 73 at Sumner.
Mm,
And I told you that you need to learn piano so you can understand what pitch was,
yeah.
in relationship to what you're doing, whatever. And I figured it'd help you out. And so you went there, and how long did you work with Charles? Until now, basically.
Basically, yeah.
Mhm. And you learned a lot from him, didn't you?
Yes, just how important piano is to music. I mean, it's one of the easiest instruments to pick up and learn. Definitely with the fundamentals of chords and keys, staying on pitch, fine tuning, all of those things. He helped me with a lot.
And you were continuously writing still
Yes, that's my
through the
thing.
whole thing or whatever. And I mean, let's get into that first of all. What you know, going back as far as you can remember, what has been your goals?
From the beginning,
Yes.
I was like 8, 9 years old in the basement, and I had like this karaoke mic stand kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like dancing was always my thing. Since I was 4 years old, I would watch Chris Brown, I would watch Michael Jackson, and I would literally like pretend like I was them. I would
Mm-hmm.
dress up, all that. And I just felt like, I don't know, they were just doing something that I just attracted to.
Uh-huh.
And so growing up, it was always dancing. And then I got into singing. Um, later on in life. But yeah, to cut it, I had the mic stand, and I would just like perform in front of my wall.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, the wall was a crowd. Like I always had a big
Yeah.
imagination, so it was that, and that was just like I feel like those days kind of opened my mind up to what I could do and the possibility
Right.
and the love for music. And then as I got older, I got into songwriting.
All right. And then, you flash forward to you turned 18, right?
Yeah.
And you came back to me again.
No, that was 14. I
Huh?
came back to you at 14.
You came to me at first at 14,
Yeah.
and I introduced you to Charles. But then you worked with Charles all those years up until you was 18.
Oh yeah, because then I came. Yeah, that's right.
And in between, I mean, we kept in touch the whole time. I mean, you would ask me how I'm doing and stuff, and you would send me some of the files or stuff you was working with. So it wasn't no, where you just was totally out of my. But I had told you at that time that you need to get with him before, because the things I do are more. I don't know how you describe them because it's a different thing I kind of teach, isn't it? Yeah.
With you, so it was me trying to like record, and I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, exactly.
But what you are able to teach, I could have learned at any age because it's mixing, it's mastering, it's learning instruments, it's experience that you give off and you educate us with. So yeah.
So we could have kept on coming around, but you didn't. Yeah, because you was busy focusing on. I know Mr. Charles was giving you a whole bunch of.
I had a lot of piano.
Yeah.
I mean, I was writing a lot. That was my thing, but I just kept like focusing on getting better so that I can record and get that started.
Okay, so 18 we started working. I think we set you up with I don't know if you already had the software or not, but but probably Logic and different things, softwares and stuff for you to start working with.
I think you gave it to me early. Yeah. Because I had it because I was kind of like off and on here. Like I got some plugins and like softwares from you, and then I would go home, learn how to do it and all that.
Yeah, and so you kind of got into that. You started doing more production. A lot of things you were getting. I mean, most of the songs and stuff you were doing, you were downloading people's songs off of YouTube, right?
Yeah.
From producers you didn't know, and
just YouTube.
But you was pretty much just teaching yourself how to produce yourself and how to write to and create amongst the vibe you're getting from that song or whatever, and try to gel that together and stuff. And so not too long ago here lately, I had my friend Erica, who's a music attorney, right?
Yeah.
And she came in and she kind of had a little conversation about you. Tell me a little bit about that conversation, what you got out of it.
So I played her a song, and she heard the lack of mixing in the beat that I used. And so like from there she told me to reach out to producers and focus on actually breaking the stems down of a beat rather than just pulling YouTube beats and then throwing them on a song.
Yeah.
Because we put a lot of work into creating the song, and then I mean anything could happen. You could get sued or mix come out bad.
And she was telling you about some different experiences she's had, as she's been dealing with and trying to make her way in the industry and make a name for herself. So she gave you some advice on that kind of stuff. Also, I introduced you to Anthony Saunders, right?
Anthony Saunders, yes.
Yeah, because like I said, you already knew Joe and stuff, so you already have a history and stuff. But Anthony kind of walked you through. I remember we went over there and he was kind of explaining and showing you the difference in the analog old gear versus the new gear. And also, I think he might explain a couple of things about your songwriting and things, right? Or did he?
Yes. I can't remember if it was all over the phone or what, but we had sent him some of my music, and then he basically gave me some of the feedback on it at the time, which were like good pointers.
Yeah.
Because like the thing with creativity is you can sometimes oversaturate your art. and then it's like it's hard to realize what the complete picture is.
Yeah.
And so yeah, Anthony Saunders is very like textbook. He's traditional. He goes back. He has the skills of like the new generation, but
Yeah.
he knows that
The
you
history.
go back before to yeah.
And that's the thing he always stresses to me, or whatever, you know, that why not go back to my generation, which we were there from the beginning of the creation of the recording and the different styles and whatever. I just finished doing an interview with, you know, one of the guy that mentored me is a rock guy, Gary West. And he was doing stuff in the in the 60s and stuff to where, you know, early 60s actually, I think, but he was at like 14 or 13 or whatever, you know, leaving school to pretty much go play for a living and stuff, you know. And so he learned the business, you know, he learns some hard lessons and stuff in trying to survive and try to make it in music, you know. But he was thinking bigger the whole time or whatever. And I noticed that about you, that you kind of have bigger goals and stuff than a local scene and local setup and stuff. You kind of see things a little bit wider than, and it may be because your mother knows a lot of people in the industry that have bigger ties. I mean, have been on that level or whatever, and so she might have exposed you to those people, you know, from the beginning. You know, so. How do you see yourself in the next, I say, 5 years?
Next 5 years, 19 now, I'll be like 24. The next 5 years, I'll be done with school. I would have my degree in Associates of Science, Music, Audio Technology. Within 5 years, if I could set it right, I should be a successful artist within 5 years.
Okay. So the whole time you're going to school, you're going to be pursuing your making connections, and writing, and trying to make placements in the whole gambit, whatever.
Yeah, because my initial, like, really, I just want to go big within the music. Like, I know not everyone's meant to be an artist. Not everyone's meant to go, you know, number one. Some people are in the background. Even if that's where God wants me to be, I still want to go number one in the background. Like, that's just my goal. And I always just thought big.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom would tell me sometimes I'm too optimistic, but you never know. I mean, if other people can do it, why not me? You know?
Yeah, we limit ourselves and stuff, you know. So it's kind of like, you know, if you can see it, you can achieve it. You know, you know, if you can, and I say I'm seeing it, envision it. You know, there's nothing. We limit ourselves too. You know, a lot of guys. You know, when I started playing horns and stuff like that, I was like, I'm just gonna play horn parts. Then I thought about it. I'm like, why limit yourself? You know, go ahead and, you know, you got the rest of your life and stuff. And that's one thing. You know, I give you a lot of advice about different things. And one thing that was told to me by my brother and other people too, was to always keep on growing. You know, don't ever, you know, and, you know, there's nothing wrong with people. I mean, with having some type of, I don't want to say arrogance, but you got to believe in yourself and carry yourself in a certain way or whatever. But you don't want to be so cocky and that can't nobody tell you nothing. And that you know, you just know you know that, you know, I'm bigger than you, you know, because, you know, they always say to be kind to the people you go up, because you may see them coming down or something, you know. You know, the people you meet in your, you know, in your journey or whatever through life, you know. So you know, I'm proud of you and stuff, and, you know, you've always been steady and straightforward. You think that there were any disadvantages to you having been homeschooled?
Socially, there were disadvantages due to like friendships and not really, you know, meeting others that, I mean, socially growing up, I mean, my childhood, kind of like a big part of that, you know, went out the window. But I also know that there were advantages.
Yeah.
Me being able to hone in on my craft and wanting to build my skill, learning and being able to go to my mentors whenever.
It made you focus, didn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah, I mean, because you didn't have no
yeah, I
choice.
had no other choice. So
and
yeah,
and the thing about it in today's world and stuff, there's a lot of I don't know. There's even risk to going to schools and stuff.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
So
so it kind of kept you away from some of those.
yeah,
So I'm definitely proud of your mom for getting you here.
yeah, it
And
allowed me to think independently. Definitely.
the thing you got to watch out for as you venture out in the world is stuff. I mean, with all the fentanyls and all these things or whatever. I mean, somebody could just slip it to you in a drink and you not really knowing it and stuff
Yeah,
like. So you're gonna have to be extra careful and just kind of be able to maneuver maneuver your way through life
yeah,
as the different challenges approaches. I mean, you've
yeah.
already probably been in relationships, and that's a challenge in itself.
Just women.
Yeah, and so trying to understand that and trying to decide what I mean, because there's a lot of guys at your age that would have had kids, and now
Yeah,
their whole life has changed because they got to sit there and raise the kids,
yeah,
and got to get jobs and got to and so now they're juggling trying to do this and that and may have to put their careers on hold in order to do that and stuff like
yeah,
that. So you have to watch those obstacles too because good looking dude or whatever that they and you will be attracted by women and men because that's the world we live in
yeah,
and so you got to try to learn how to stay politically correct, at the same time
yeah.
maneuver yourself,
Uh,
as you achieve your successes and stuff, if you're smart and doing that and understanding the business
mm,
and paying attention to the business as much as you are to the artist side and the creation side of it.
yeah, that's another.
Uh,
Yeah,
but you leave when?
tomorrow morning,
And today is what?
Saturday,
The what? Is it the 12th?
the 12th of August, 2023.
Yeah. And so you're 19 years old and stuff. I just wanted to make sure I documented, at least had this on record, whether I put it out now or whether it winds up 5 years from now, I re-interview you,
Yeah,
which I've done before.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, with like Angela Polk, what I did was every 5 years. So I got her like, I did it, and I finally released it after probably about 15 years or something like
wow,
that, from the first one. So she
yeah,
watched her first interview and how she, as she grew into the industry and became an actress in New York and stuff,
okay,
and how she had changed, how she had grown and stuff in everything that she, and how she presents herself and everything and her confidence and everything. But you
gotcha.
always seem pretty confident of yourself.
Me,
Yeah.
I honestly, that's one of the main things that I wish for. Like, I want to, because I know that you have to be confident, especially in this industry, in this world. Like, no one's going to just, give that to you. You have to have it yourself. And
Yeah.
there's a huge difference between confidence and arrogance.
Yeah.
So I understand like the necessity of confidence within being creative.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody. I mean, no matter who you run into, whether it be the bum on the side of the street drinking,
Yeah,
if they lived, they have something to say, and you should always be, unless you're just too stupid.
yeah,
but you can listen to it. You may get something from them. It's like, oh, something. I remember when that bum told me,
yeah,
so and so, and he's right. I mean, use that, or whatever.
yeah,
So your blessings and your direction is gonna come with how you carry your life all the way through, and
mm,
and whether you are receptive to it
mm,
or not is a good question, because a lot of
yeah,
people you can't tell me nothing and stuff. Especially, I mean, uh, a lot of the generations I ran into at you know, most of the time you can teach folks when they, single ages up to the teenagers up, and then they start rebelling.
yeah,
Then when they reach 21, something like that, a lot of times you can't tell them, because they're trying to find themselves too,
yeah,
which I get it. It ain't like, it doesn't make sense or whatever. But at the same time, if you listen and you always receptive and whatever, you can get to where you get. You can achieve more and get there faster and stuff. You probably achieve more successes. I think the ones that you see on the that are successful have done that. They took that approach to where they always listen.
Yeah.
And so I wish you well. I'm here. Uh, Whatever you need to talk about. Sometimes I'm in DeVee in New York at 8. I mean, when he went to LA and stuff at 18, he was getting approached by different situations, and he called me up and man, I just want to tell you this, and what do you think? And I just we give him the advice of trying to make sure you staying politically correct with it. In other words, don't react emotionally, too emotionally. I mean, but that's actually stand your ground.
Yeah.
And, don't be no punk or nothing.
Yeah.
Because people will try to take advantage of you and will use you and walk over you if you allow it and stuff. It's nothing wrong with saying no. To a situation if you really, sometimes. I mean, trust your instincts. If something sounds too good to be true, then you can question that, and see it. But if you take the risk of accepting that, know with your eyes wide open, going into it, In other words, I know I'm okay. I'm getting ready to sign this agreement with these people, and I'm not sure whether I should do it, but if I do it, I know what I kind of expect. If it goes sour, then yeah, okay. I had an inkling that was going to happen and stuff, So now, how do I maneuver out of that and stuff, Because a lot of times when you're under contract with certain people, the other opportunity may show up, but they ain't gonna mess with you because you're already, committed.
Yeah.
So anyway, you get your sleep, man.
Yeah, I'm just a yawner. That's my thing. Just yawn.
Yeah, now, anyways, it gets dark in here, and always that's why you always have me turn the lights up and stuff. I got this little bitty light on you right now.
Yeah.
If that ain't doing good, you want me to turn it up brighter? Be click one more, click brighter. Now you be glad, be looking like I can't see. But anyway, like I said, best wishes and safe travels, and I'll see you when you come back. Through the next time.
Got you.
Anything you want to say, or any advice you want to give to somebody trying to get to where you're at right now?
Where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I would say practice. Like all of the greats, anyone that's good at anything that they do, they've practiced and they've put the time in.
Mm-hmm.
Believing in yourself. No one else is gonna do it unless you do it. So you have to believe in yourself. Listen to people that can inform you on, positive or uplifting information, whether it's, telling you to, smile more throughout your day, or if you're trying to become a musician and they're telling you, maybe you want to, do this a little differently, or practice more on the piano, or your vocal, it's not where it needs to be right now, but you could be here if you just do this.
Yeah.
Right? Like, not all information is, it's just trying to take you down. So
it takes you a lot of discipline, doesn't it? It's self-discipline.
Yes. Also, yes, discipline. Discipline, because no one wakes up and wants to do it every single day.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, you do it because there's something in you that, like, you just see. So it's like you got to keep going towards it. It's like you're trying to build a self-rocket ship, and you're failing and failing, but one day.
How about your physical health? Advice.
Physical health, I mean, I don't got much like food advice, because I'm gonna be honest, I eat McDonald's at times.
But you shouldn't. You ain't supposed to, and
Yeah.
And at some point you might not. I mean, I do too. So,
but I would say, like, the gym is really good for physical health, mental health too, because it is more than just working out your body, and it's just good for you to do something for yourself each day.
Staying active or whatever. Yeah, don't become
Yeah.
a person that just sit there, play video games, or look at TV
Yeah.
all day, and that's all you do. The way your body, you don't have no muscles,
Yeah.
no tones, or nothing. Huh? Yeah,
Yeah, because doing things for yourself that, like, in the beginning you're not gonna feel like doing it, but once you're done, you're gonna feel great afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Other than, like, if you're doing a video game or you're going to watch TV,
Yeah.
after a few hours you're not gonna feel good afterwards because it's just like a bunch of nothing. It's just nothing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's and and the people things I would tell to the ones that are doing video games or whatever is why not take it a step further? If you're young, learn how to create those video games. Learn how to be a part of it. Create part of the
Yeah,
music or ideas or there's so many avenues now. You can create the clothes that the characters in the video games are, just by sitting there at the computer. So now you're at home making money. Doing the same thing, and then I can go ahead and play my game for a while, or whatever. And then we get ideas. Oh man, it'd be cool if he's wearing this outfit,
yeah,
or ideas and stuff. So creativity and has different avenues in this day and age, and it's
yeah,
going to even get more dimensional and stuff with the artificial intelligence and all that. You're going to be able to do it a lot easier. So there's nothing stopping anybody from pursuing whatever they can create in their own mind, imagination.
yeah.
Really.
You can be successful at anything. Even with playing a game, you can make content, and then if you're entertaining, you can blow up from that. It might take a lot of years, but yeah.
From your perspective, let me get your opinion. I mean, if you want to talk on it, the political world we're living in right now with the racism and the dividedness of the world or whatever. You as a 19-year-old,
Yeah.
what are you seeing and how do you feel about it?
So that's crazy. I was just watching Bill Burr, one of his stand-ups. He's a stand-up comedian or comedian. And I kind of, in comparison, it's similar to Dave Chappelle, just how he speaks on the politics with no filter.
Yeah.
And I mean, today you can't do that without getting in trouble. There's a lot of things going on where it's, left wing versus right wing, or, left side versus right side. People aren't allowed to have their own opinions anymore without getting in trouble for it or becoming enemies, right? Like, if you're a Democrat or a Republican, you're probably going to be enemies just because, the difference in the viewpoints. I mean, everyone has a reason for why they choose what they choose, but now it's like you're wrong for not thinking what I'm thinking, and that's final. That's just the way that it's turning. Everything is becoming. I mean, everything is politics. Oh, everything is politics.
Political, yeah.
Yeah, everything. But now it's like the woke culture and
yeah.
I don't know, it's just everything's draining
and it's getting dangerous too. So you got to. I mean,
war now.
As you drive and as you're making your transition or whatever, I know I mean, I used to feel it sometimes as I drove through different areas and stuff. It's like, okay, let me stop and get gas here. It's like, okay, it feels different, and you have to, be cautious because, like I'm saying, because you grew up homeschool and stuff. I don't know how your street sense,
It's good. Just like I didn't go to school, but I was like outside, I guess. Like growing up.
Yeah.
Cause I stopped going to school after 8th grade. Like that was the last time I went to school.
So you did still have to,
I was outside a lot, and even now, like I've gone outside. I've been around Kansas City.
Yeah, so you are aware that certain areas and certain time. I mean, whatever you kind of.
I'm always cautious.
Yeah, you look over your. What's that dude standing there like
my
that?
My doors are always locked. Like, I don't trust nothing or nobody. Like I'm not. Yeah. I don't necessarily live in fear.
Yeah.
It's just cautious.
Yeah, that's all. I'm just saying. It's just as you travel to because Florida is south.
Shoot, it's very different down there.
Yeah, and there's a different culture and the whole the political thing, the whole governor thing, and and schools and everything is all different,
Yeah.
So it's kind of its own world away from. Not saying Kansas or Missouri,
Yeah.
we're still in conservative areas or whatever like that. They still, but it's different in each zone and stuff. Different versus California versus New York. They have a whole different kind of vibe and stuff. So anyway, that's all. Just be cautious and try to stay as safe as you can. And like I said, I look forward to where you go. And I want to see if when you're famous, if you're still able to stop back through here for another round two. If you got time,
God strike my success if I act out. If I go arrogant, belligerent, and forget where I came from.
Be like, oh, okay, I stopped in for that interview. Yeah, all right. Let's see what you're talking about, man. What happened to you?
Yeah.
You can tell your travels and okay, I did this, so and so, this happened. Okay, boom. So anyway, all right, that's pretty much it. So signing out. Let's see. I don't know if we can get both of us together.
Deuces.
Let's see.
5 years. Well, we might look at you. If not, 10 years.
Yeah, I guess that's getting both of us.
5 years, it should be a strong future. So, yeah.
All right.
I would like to look in 5 years.
Yeah. All right. I'll let you later.